My name is Jordan Weiner. I'm the manager of the Cyber Threat Intelligence team here at Lumifi, Cyber Threat Intelligence / content team. I like to think that we're somewhere between an analyst and an engineer because we, of course, need to understand security from an analyst perspective in order to develop detections and really get a in-depth understanding of what a threat actor might be trying to do within your environment and the TTPs that they may utilize to essentially gain initial access, pivot, do the things they want to do that are typically never good. So that's really what the content team is responsible for: threat research, staying abreast of security trends and news, and detection engineering.
All right, I'm Anthony Radzykewycz. I am the offensive threat detection engineer here at Lumifi. I work in the content team under Jordan, and just as he said, we take care of all of those responsibilities from having kind of an analyst mindset while we're building detections, and we do wonderful things like conducting research on new trends, what's going on, what vulnerabilities are out there. We build the detections to help protect our customer base.
Yeah, that's about it. All right, you ready?
Okay. All right. This is a system that collects logs, and we use that to analyze for network behavior.
Only network?
Well, no, it's like networked devices.
Okay, so the devices in the network.
Network gear, it could be events that happen from other applications or systems.
Is it a SIEM?
It's a SIEM.
Got it. So that'll be Security Information and Event Management System. So essentially, it's like where you send all your logs there, and instead of having to analyze all of the logs individually, which is of course an impossible task, you can utilize a SIEM to parse out the data and understand the information at a high level, and also use it from a detection engineering perspective to build detections based around the parameters and logs within the collected SIEM. Okay, so if you had an actual compromise within an organization, what would you pursue in order to understand the full scope of what occurred during this incident? Another way to put it would be if you believe that you were being affected by, let's say, ransomware, what would you need to perform in order to both recover and prohibit additional spread of the ransomware?
Okay, so investigating this, right? But we've established that?
You've already established it's a verified tier 1 incident.
Response.
Correct.
Incident response.
There you go.
All right. And as he just said, it's how we respond to events that happen, malicious events, and that could be segregating systems, isolating them from the network, disconnecting user accounts, or locking those out. Changing passwords is another way to take that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different steps in IR. Just depends on the severity of the event, right? All right.
Run and scream from the building.
That'll do it.
All right. Oh, okay. So we just talked about incident response.
Okay.
Right. And this is the accumulation of events and a way that we do not have to deal with this manually.
So automation?
Yeah. And it's the system. It's the acronym of the system.
So it's an automation system that helps enable and enact automation based on incidents and detection, stuff like that, to help SOAR? Is it a SOAR platform?
Yep.
Okay. That makes sense. So SOARs you can take advantage of to help automate processes within your security team. Let's say, for example, you have a detection that identifies logins from a foreign country. Let's just say you could implement a SOAR runbook, playbook, something of that type, to essentially automatically take action based on parameters you've defined. So in the case of a foreign login, that might be where you utilize a SOAR platform to automatically lock out the account, reset the password, if of course the activity is unexpected. That way you don't have to wait for the investigational process. You can take action much quicker and of course kind of automate that process. So helps both the security team, also helps reduce risk based on a specific event. It's what we do. It's what Lumifi does.
Security.
There you go. So if, you know, in more layman terms, essentially it's an organization or a service that I guess doesn't necessarily have to always be represented in a service or an organization, but in general, it's the function of identifying threats within a network. And I would say probably the key aspect of this is the identification followed by the investigation. So it's what Lumifi is, you know, as an organization. So
Yeah,
what
we
do you
are
think?
an MDR company.
There you go.
Right? MDR is Managed Detection Response. So we're the cool cats that look at all of that stuff and manage, you know, the outcome, right? The
Yep.
responses of these things.
Yep.
We also create the detections.
We do.
as well.
We do that. Yeah.
All right.
That was my
Here we
turn.
go.
Is this the right direction?
That is, yes. So when we're analyzing events
Okay.
in sequence, we want to identify certain patterns that maybe particular accounts make in that order. And that order of these actions put together is how we determine that that is malicious or, you know, benign activity.
Okay. Is this something that you would see within a SIM?
Yeah, you could.
You could see it within a
Absolutely.
SIM.
Yeah, you would have
And-
to correlate it.
Right. And it's specifically related to user activity.
Yeah.
Is it user entity behavior analytics
That's it.
or UEBA?
Right.
There you go.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so this is similar to the last one, but
Okay.
this is going to be not specific to logging and the other side of your telemetry. So you have logging within a network,
Sure.
and you have, if I say the word,
networking aspect of
right,
packets?
right.
Yeah,
You're right.
okay.
So essentially, it's providing a service and investigating, analyzing, detecting those specific events that are not log based.
Okay, so that'd be the network detection
Yep.
response. yeah?
Correct. Yep.
All right. Well, there you go. And then the last one here.
So again, similar lines. So we've talked about
Okay.
NDR for network. We talked
Yeah.
about MDR, kind of the encompassing managed detection and response. Now, outside of networks, outside of network activity, outside of user activity, you have the asset that an entity operates on. So there are specific tools that you place on these entities to detect activity on that asset.
Okay, so are we talking, you know, like a XDR system that's on the system and it can look at things like files?
Correct. Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Okay, so we're leaning into files here.
I wouldn't say specifically files, but more so things on a host. Host activity, host-based analysis.
Okay. Okay.
You have tools like CrowdStrike, you have tools like Cylance, you have tools like a lot of the larger SIMs kind of have this built in as a function within what maybe the agent can provide from a detection and perspective.
Okay. I'm wanting to say like HIDS, right? Host intrusion detection.
So close.
HIDS.
So not the right acronym, but it is close. It is host-based,
Okay.
endpoint-based. Think about your
EDR.
there you go.
Oh, it's EDR.
Yeah,
okay.
there you go.
You're
Yeah,
right, I'm
EDR.
XDR, right?
yeah, close, very close. So EDR, endpoint detection response. Yeah, just the kind of the final triad of detection and investigation and analysis. So it's the end of our game.